Throughout history, countless towns have been established, thrived, and then, for reasons often shrouded in mystery, were abandoned. These ghost towns, once bustling communities, now lie in ruins, their empty streets and decaying buildings echoing with the whispers of a bygone era. Whether due to economic collapse, natural disasters, or more mysterious causes, ghost towns offer a haunting glimpse into the past. Here are some of the world's most mysterious ghost towns, each with a story that has left historians, travelers, and paranormal enthusiasts intrigued. 1. Pripyat, Ukraine. Abandoned in the shadow of Chernobyl. Perhaps one of the most famous ghost towns in the world, Pripyat was once a thriving Soviet city, home to the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. In 1986, the catastrophic explosion at Reactor 4 forced the entire population to evacuate, leaving behind an eerily frozen snapshot of Soviet life. Today, Pripyat remains a chilling reminder of the nuclear disaster, with its decaying buildings, empty amusement park, and overgrown streets. Nature has slowly reclaimed the town, but high levels of radiation ensure that it remains largely uninhabitable. Visitors who venture into this ghost town are met with haunting remnants of everyday life, from abandoned schoolbooks to rusting Ferris wheels, all left behind in a desperate hurry. 2. Bodie, California. A gold rush town frozen in time. Bodie, California, once a booming gold rush town in the late 1800s, now stands as one of the best-preserved ghost towns in the United States. At its peak, Bodie had a population of nearly 10,000 people and was known for its lawlessness, earning a reputation for violence, gambling, and saloons. However, by the early 20th century, the gold began to dry up, and the town's population dwindled rapidly. By the 1940s, Bodie was deserted. Today, visitors can walk through the empty streets of Bodie State Historic Park, where many of the buildings remain intact, as if the townspeople simply walked away one day and never returned. The town's eerie stillness, combined with the stories of its rowdy past, has made Bodie a magnet for paranormal investigators. 3. Kolmanskop, Namibia. The desert reclaims a diamond boomtown. Kolmanskop is a ghost town in the Namib Desert, once a bustling hub of diamond mining in the early 1900s. The town was established after a local railway worker found diamonds scattered across the desert sands, sparking a diamond rush. Opulent homes, hospitals, and even a casino were built in this harsh, remote environment. But as quickly as Kolmanskop boomed, it declined. By the 1930s, richer diamond deposits were discovered elsewhere, and the town was abandoned to the encroaching desert. Today, the wind-blown sands have begun to swallow Kolmanskop, filling its buildings and streets, giving the town a surreal, otherworldly appearance. The once luxurious homes and theaters now stand half-buried in dunes, adding to the ghostly atmosphere of this deserted town. 4. Hashima Island, Japan, the ghost island of the sea. Known as Gunkanjima or Battleship Island, Hashima was once a thriving coal mining facility in Japan. In the early 20th century, Mitsubishi Corporation developed this tiny island, and at its peak, it was home to over 5,000 residents. The island's coal mines were among the most productive in Japan, but as the demand for coal waned in the 1970s, so did Hashima's prosperity. In 1974, the mine closed, and the island was abandoned virtually overnight. Today, the once bustling metropolis lies in ruin, its towering apartment buildings crumbling into the sea. The island was closed to the public for many years due to safety concerns, but it has recently reopened for guided tours, attracting those fascinated by its eerie silence and decaying architecture. Hashima's desolate, futuristic appearance even inspired its inclusion as a filming location in the James Bond film Skyfall, solidifying its status as one of the world's most enigmatic ghost towns. 5. Centralia, Pennsylvania. A town on fire. Centralia was once a small but prosperous coal mining town in Pennsylvania. In 1962, a coal seam beneath the town caught fire, igniting an underground blaze that has been burning ever since. Despite attempts to extinguish the fire, it continues to rage beneath Centralia, causing the ground to collapse and releasing toxic gases into the air. By the 1980s, the government declared Centralia uninhabitable, and most residents were evacuated. Today, only a handful of people remain in what is now a virtual ghost town. The streets are eerily empty, and cracks in the pavement emit smoke from the burning coal beneath. Centralia's abandoned homes and businesses stand as silent witnesses to the environmental catastrophe that turned this once thriving community into an otherworldly wasteland. 6. Oradour-sur-Glane, France. A village frozen in time by war. Oradour-sur-Glane is a ghost town with a tragic history, forever linked to the horrors of World War II. On June 10, 1944, Nazi SS troops attacked the village in one of the war's most brutal massacres, killing 642 men, women, and children. After the war, French President Charles de Gaulle ordered that the village be left untouched as a memorial to the victims. Today, Oradour-sur-Glane stands as it did on that fateful day, with its crumbling buildings, rusting cars, and bullet-riddled walls preserved as a somber reminder of the atrocities of war. The village's haunting atmosphere and tragic history have made it a pilgrimage site for those seeking to remember the lives lost in one of the darkest moments of the 20th century. 7. Humberstone and Santa Laura, Chile. Ghost towns of the Saltpeter boom. Humberstone and Santa Laura are two ghost towns in the Atacama Desert of northern Chile, once thriving saltpeter mining communities. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, saltpeter was a valuable commodity used in fertilizers and explosives. Thousands of workers flocked to the towns, which were built with modern amenities, including theaters, swimming pools, and schools. However, the discovery of synthetic alternatives to saltpeter in the early 20th century led to the town's rapid decline. By the 1960s, both Humberstone and Santa Laura were abandoned, left to the harsh desert winds. Today, they're UNESCO World Heritage Sites, preserved as ghostly reminders of the boom-and-bust nature of resource-based economies. 8. Craco, Italy, a medieval ghost town. Craco, a picturesque hilltop town in southern Italy, dates back to the 8th century but was abandoned in the 1960s after a series of landslides made the town unsafe for residents. Craco's narrow streets, medieval buildings, and breathtaking views remain largely intact, making it a popular destination for filmmakers and tourists alike. Despite its abandonment, Craco's ancient beauty endures, and the town has taken on an almost mythical quality, with stories of ghosts and legends surrounding its empty buildings. It has been used as a filming location for movies such as The Passion of the Christ and Quantum of Solace. 9. Bannack, Montana. A gold rush town turned ghostly. Bannack, Montana, was founded in 1862 after gold was discovered in nearby Grasshopper Creek. At its height, Bannack was a bustling frontier town, complete with saloons, hotels, and a schoolhouse. However, as the gold ran out, the town's population dwindled, and by the 1950s, Bannack was completely abandoned. Today, Bannack is a well-preserved ghost town, maintained as a state park. Visitors can explore the deserted buildings, including the old sheriff's office and jail, which once held notorious outlaws. Bannack's remote location and preserved history make it one of the most fascinating ghost towns in the American West. 10. Pyramiden, Norway, an Arctic ghost town. Pyramiden, located on the Svalbard archipelago in Norway, was once a Soviet mining town. In the 1940s, the Soviet Union developed Pyramiden as a coal mining outpost, complete with all the amenities of a typical Russian town, including a swimming pool, cultural center, and even the world's northernmost grand piano. However, as the Cold War came to an end, the Soviet Union abandoned Pyramiden in 1998. Today, the town remains largely intact, frozen in time in the Arctic wilderness. Its Soviet-era architecture and abandoned buildings, now slowly being reclaimed by the harsh environment, make Pyramiden one of the most isolated and eerie ghost towns in the world. Conclusion. Ghost towns around the world offer a haunting glimpse into the past. Whether abandoned due to economic collapse, environmental disaster, or war, these towns stand as eerie reminders of the impermanence of human civilization. While many have been reclaimed by nature, their stories continue to captivate, drawing in adventurers, historians, and paranormal enthusiasts alike.